and answer it, and we don't just answer off the. Okay, then. Nicole, they just told me this meeting is being recorded.
I forgot. I need to record it so I can post it.
I got it too.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I got rid of you. Okay, as a secretary, you're charged with the keeping of accurate minutes of every auxiliary business meeting. And by accurate, it means you write down the business that transpires. If a motion is made, Sandy O moved that we do this, seconded by who? Motion carried or motion failed. If there's any business where money is going out or money's coming in as a donation for the auxiliary, that should be in your minutes. As a secretary, when you're writing your minutes, you can handwrite them, you can type them the old-fashioned way, but the majority of people now in that position are doing computer-generated. They can be affixed in a 3-ring binder, a clip folder, or in a bound book. The important part is that they're numbered sequentially or consecutively, excuse me, so that, and that space is left on each page for trustees to initial, and at the end of the 3 months for the trustees to sign. Secretary, how she keeps her minutes must be by vote of the auxiliary floor. So if it's going to be kept whichever way, it's a vote. If the minutes are going to be pre-printed and distributed, it's by the vote of the membership. Sorry, I'm running too. The monthly treasurer's report must be included in your minutes, and an audit also when an audit is performed. An auxiliary secretary is in charge of all communications under the president. If the president tells the secretary she wants this letter to go out, or she wants a communication to all the members, it is the secretary that will do that. The secretary should keep a file for general orders that come from department and special orders that come from national. Those orders are filed in the order they're received. So if one is received in July and another one is received in September, July is in first, September comes next. So it's always in the order you got them. If you want to communicate with the national headquarters or national officers, that communication must be from your president, sent out by the secretary to department headquarters and forwarded on there if the department can't help you. General correspondence has to be kept for 1 year. And at the end of this term of office, you can get rid of that. There's certain things that are identified in the bylaws that you have to keep a multiple of years. It's not the correspondence pertaining to this year's presidency or term of office. Policies and rulings must be kept in a permanent file, though. You don't ever discard those. Communications from, oh, I already did that one, sorry, repeating myself. So what I have learned as secretary is the best thing is to, when the president tells you to do it, to get their exact request so that when you are typing it up or preparing it to go out to the membership, you're getting exactly what they want to be presented. And then it's given back to the president for her okay before it's out. At the end of your term of office, you keep nothing. It didn't belong to you, it belonged to the office or the position that you held. So you must be prepared to turn it all over to your successor. I'm thinking that's all about I've got. you can ask me questions and I can answer them better than I can tell you what the position is as of yet. I think I'm 12 days in, legitimate days.
You're doing fine. Anybody got any
Nobody
questions for
has-
Sandy? Somebody's got their
Wendy
hand up.
Hall.
Wendy Hall has her hand up.
I didn't hear the number of years you have to keep your records for minutes.
Forever.
In our, it's in the yellow pages. I'm sorry, I'm bending to get my book. It's in the yellow pages, Wendy.
It's in the yellow pages.
Page 11.
Page 8.
And if I switch from a handwritten book to the computer generated, how do I do that? Do I make a, I've been wanting to do that, but I know I have to make some notation in the handwritten book.
A handwritten
If-
book.
If
for
you're,
you- Go ahead, Sandy. Go ahead, Sandy. I'll let you answer.
it's okay. I'm not sure my answer is correct, but I would believe if you want to make that changeover, it should be at the beginning of a term of office unless you run out of pages in the book that you're doing. Let's say you're in a bound book now and you want to go over to computer generated, then it would just start out there. But if you've been thinking about it a while and you still have space, it should be at the beginning of the term of office for that year.
Okay.
Steph, is that okay?
Yep, I got
Right.
it.
Start with
If
number
you-
one.
And then you're going to start numbering with number 1. Your pages will start with number 1. And if you have any pages left over in the bound book, you should put an X through every single one of them.
Okay. All right, that's what I thought I was supposed to do. I just wanted to confirm it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good question. Wendy still has her hand up.
Okay, we just had a district meet. We used to in the past have to record, their chairmanships. I have looked all over our site and the national site. Can't find the form. Do we not have to record that and turn that in anymore?
Sandy, you want to answer?
What do you mean and turn it in?
To the office.
Yeah, but I don't understand
Okay. You want me to?
by turning it in.
Let me take this one. So
Yeah.
the
Sure.
object is
Okay.
when every year the secretary at the district levels always kept track of what chairmans came in and what were recorded out of every auxiliary. Okay, this year we're not doing that because we're expecting you to go on and report that you've actually attended on the website yourself. So we are not keeping track of that at the office. For the last couple of years, all we've done is literally take those sheets and file it in those auxiliary or in that district file. We don't do anything with them, so we did not do them this year.
So in that case, they do not register at the district meetings. They
Oh, no,
would
no,
just
no, no,
go
no.
on.
You have to register, you just don't have to keep track of what chairmanships. You still are registering at the district level.
Then what are they registering? Just that they were there or if they were president?
Registering
A
so that they don't have
delegate.
to Take a vote or anything.
A delegate, an alternate, if they have a district vote, past president, that kind of stuff.
Okay. Thank
Good
you.
question.
Basically,
I
they're
apologize.
on to the honor system if they say they attended their district meeting.
We're taking
Right.
honor.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna, yeah, I mean, come on, yeah.
If you don't
Right.
lie about something worth it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank
Any more
Well,
questions?
asking that she was asking a question about the auxiliary. So that's why I was stumbling on that. And you don't. do
And we only know this because we were addressing this at our district meeting on Sunday. So,
Thank you.
Anybody else?
It would be in the secretary's minutes though, wouldn't it? So
say
it's-
that again.
No.
Secretary's minutes is roll call of officers. It's not roll call of chairman.
Correct.
Unless the secretary, I mean, there's no rule that says you can't list them all, but it's normally the officers and the replacement officers.
You're right, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Don't be sorry. It's a good question. I think Brenda's got her hand up.
I do have a question. So I was the only one that showed up from my new auxiliary, but I'm not a president or a delegate, but they need to have credit for me to be there. Do they just write my name down that I attended from that auxiliary?
Yes, when they do roll call, they're gonna say 701, and you're not gonna say president or anything, you're gonna just say 1.
Okay,
We
thank
know
you.
that auxiliary was represented, but it wasn't an officer.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. Steph?
Good question.
She's on the phone.
She's on the phone. So Deb, do you want to do your?
Sure, I'll throw in some protocol. We won't talk about turning off your cell phone during meetings.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm just gonna throw out some easy and quick ones because for the first time in a month, I have a haircut in a little while.
I'm really sorry. I should have turned my phone off, Deb, but that was somebody's in my auxiliary sister died. I've been waiting to get the call all day and I just got it. So sorry.
So sorry. Okay, so just some quick and easy ones. Basic things. Having come back from National Convention, which was fabulous to finally be able to go back and see everybody and all of that stuff. It's little things that you see when you have so many states together of how everybody does everything so different. It's just crazy nuts. But also I've noticed it even like at our district meeting a couple of weeks ago, some things that back in the day, and I don't know when the day was because it was before I got very active, but people used to stand when we did the pledge or whatever and put their elbow way up high in the air. And they used to scold anybody who didn't do it that way. Well, a few years ago, when I was National Americanism Ambassador, I said, nowhere is that in writing, and we're an aging organization. Most people's shoulders don't work that well anymore. Do whatever you can to get your heart somewhere or your hand somewhere in the direction of your heart, and that's it. It doesn't have to be high, it doesn't have to be low. Do your best of what you got to work with to show some respect for your flag. That's an easy one. And whatever you do, don't scold anybody who's doing it different than you. Another one, let's see. I heard somebody say something about new auxiliary. Lots of newer auxiliaries, people don't understand anything. We had one where we made them a poster and put it behind the president on the wall. 1 means listen. 2 means stand up, 3 means sit down. Because it was just, nobody knows. And we're all just doing it and they're all like, oh. So there's nothing wrong with visual aids. You have to cut everybody some slack. About the only other one that kind of goes back to that same thing about our aging bodies and whatever is parade rest, same thing. If you can get both of your hands all the way around behind you, and do parade rest the way it's intended to be done, that's great. But as Sandy knows, because she had surgery the year before I did, there's a long while there where that arm isn't going anywhere. It's just mocking you. So if it's down to your side and behind your back, same thing. You're still doing what you can do to show respect. And that's the best you can do. That's the best you can do. And we should accept that. And we need to learn to be a more accepting group as a whole of just, well, they're doing the best they can. So those are kind of my quick 3 and easy there, Madam President. So
Thank you, Deb.
you're welcome.
Patrick has his hand up.
Can I ask Deb something real quick? Deb,
Sure.
I've been to 2 auxiliaries and their charter was not present. It's supposed to be near the president, isn't it? The charter?
That's another one of those take it as you find it things.
Oh, okay.
The auxiliary I attend in Kalamazoo, the Post bought a bar. They did not buy a building with meeting rooms. They bought a bar.
Wow.
There's no kitchen. There's no nothing. There's high top tables. So ours is hanging on the wall up behind where the band plays on the weekend.
Oh,
Because that's the only wall space available to us. So yeah, you just kind of have to, I mean, yeah, it should be in the room if possible, but in a formal meeting like at district or department, then we have a place to put it. But in post, sometimes everyone is different and all the
Okay,
pecking order of who puts what on the walls and what they can do and can't do. So just kind of go with the flow. Just make sure if they have their charter, you'd like to see it, but if they don't, we could easily verify whether they have one. I mean, I assume that with a little help from Nicole, we could figure that out in about half a second.
Yep.
okay.
So Patrick, just ask them, if you don't see the charter, ask them, do you know where your charter is and who's responsible for it? Sometimes it's like Deb said, it's not going to be able to be there.
It's one of the first things I ask when I go in.
It just varies, because even at my post, our charter is with the Comrades charter, but it's actually in the bar. So it's not in the room that we hold our meetings.
Okay, ours is up so high on a wall that they can't get it, but I asked if somebody would bring it down so we could put it in front, where it's supposed to be displayed. But, okay, thank you.
Yeah, our rules can be more flexible than that.
Okay.
Bend, but don't break.
Correct. And if you go climbing up a ladder, somebody's going to break something.
Amen on
Exactly.
that.
Amen.
I hear-
Okay, thanks, Deb.
Um,
Sandy, were you going to say
I'm
something?
sorry. You let Deb finish, then I want to
I'm done.
say something.
Deb's done.
Okay. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted Wendy to know in the current bylaws, it's page 16 and 17 in the yellow pages. It tells you everything that has to be retained and for how long.
I'll be Vanna.
Yes.
Yellow pages.
That wasn't Wendy's question, it was somebody else's, but
It works.
Mine.
everybody needs to know. Okay.
I'm on a Chromebook. I can't see, but I see Bella and Nicole.
Okay. Let's
That's
see. How about we move on to Gold Star Mothers, and after Gold Star Mothers, Ruthie, if you got any pin talk you want to do, you can do it right after Brenda's done. Okay,
Thank you, Madam President.
you're
The his-
welcome.
The history of the Blue Star Banner leads us back to World War I and Army Captain Robert L. Kusner. Captain Kusner designed this service flag to represent his two sons, which were serving on the front line during the war. The Blue Star Banner became an unofficial way to show that your family had a child in the services. Over time, the flag has transitioned to simply represent any family member who is serving in the armed forces at the time of war or hostility. In 1918, President Wilson added, from a suggestion by the Women's Committee of the Council of National Defense, that if the family member was lost while serving, that blue star was to be covered with a gold star. Blue would be symbolic of hope, and the gold would symbolize sacrifice for freedom. In World War II, the Blue Star Banner became very popular and could be seen almost in every window of which it was applicable. The banner is traditionally hung in the window of a home and is to allow all who pass the residence to view it and know the family has a member at war. It is known that only immediate family members of persons serving in the United States Armed Forces are to display the flag. The blue flag star is limited to specific family members, the spouse, parents, including adoptive or step parents, siblings, and children, whether natural born, adopted, foster children, or stepchildren, are entitled to display the window flag. The white field edged with red can hold up the 5 blue stars. The blue of those stars symbolize hope and pride in the service of a family member. Gold Star family title is reserved for spouses, parents, and children of military service members. That's all I have, Madam President.
That was excellent. Ruthie, you're on. Got anything on pins for us?
Ruthie, you're muted.
He's sleeping.
Unmute yourself.
I have a question.
Excuse me.
Go ahead, Diana, ask your question.
Brenda, on your gold star, it says that that's only for parents, spouse, and children. So a brother or sister is not allowed to display the gold star flag in their windows?
Yes,
I did not find that anywhere.
it was added a few years ago.
Okay,
I have it somewhere in this mess because I have a gold star front. son. And I was asked the same thing, and I have it somewhere. I'll find it.
Okay, I will add that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Brenda.
My thing is, if somebody needs pins, please give me a call. Just give me a call. I'll get them in the mail to you that day or the very next day. You should have pins. And I know that snail mail is crazy, but normally when I mail pins to somebody, they've got them within 2 to 3 days.
Ruthie, tell them how many Sandy O pins you have left.
I have 8 of Sandy O's pins left. That's it. As far as I know, Sandy, you don't have any more either, do you? No?
Two. Two.
I have 8 pins left. If somebody wants any of those, because, you know, as I always say, that's going to be a collector item. They're our own Sandy O's pin. And when they're gone, they're gone. So give me a call as soon as you think you want one of those pins, and I'll get it to you right away. Yeah. It's kind of like 50-50 tickets. When you're selling them, nobody wants one until you've sold the last one. And then 5 more people want them. Well, I'm sure that's the way it's going to be with these pins. So the next 8 people that call me get a pin.
You're the lucky ones.
Yes.
Hey, Ruthie,
Yes.
Ruthie,
Yeah.
you said it at the district meeting that I was doing in Midland. I need a copy of the pin with the Stephanie's pin.
The
I didn't get a
Battlefield
chance.
Cross.
Yeah, I forgot to ask you for the for that.
I'm thinking that I mailed you one, Melody.
Okay, I didn't get one.
Remember, snail mailers take several days.
That's true. My brother's a mailman.
That's right. And I just mailed them out like yesterday. So
Oh, okay.
'cause
Okay.
I had
Thank
them,
you.
we were still working and I had to get home and get everything in the briefcase and put it together. So
Thank you.
you don't have one in the next couple of days, give me a call on the phone.
Okay.
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 Alrighty. That's it. Back to
Thank
Madam
you.
President.
Okay, who's up next? Scholarships. Any questions for Ruthie or for Brenda? Okay, then scholarships.
Judy Brown
It's all you.
has a question.
Judy's got a
Oh,
question.
Judy Brown has a question.
Okay, Judy?
I would like to thank Sandy and Stephanie for the pins that they provided me with for the 30, 20, almost 30, actually 25. And I've given away 3 more today. Quilts of Valor that was given out. They were presented on the quilt, pinned on the Quilts of Valor. There was Sandy's pin, there was the program pin, there was Stephanie's pin, and the commander's pin. And we pinned them in an order so that the cross of Sandy's represented all of them. And they were received very, very well. In fact, I was called today and asked if they could purchase more of
How do you like-
Stephanie's program pins. And
Yes, they can.
we have them, so we did
Good.
get them to them. That's all I needed to say. I have a migraine, so I'm gonna bow out.
Okay, take care, Judy.
Later.
If you ever get a chance to go to Hillman for their VJ Days ceremony and parade, it's just amazing. We were on the parade route and they had a flyover of a Coast Guard helicopter and it literally came at us, flying above us. It was just wonderful. And the program for the Quilts of Valor, you just can't imagine it until you've been there and done that. It was quite an honor to be able to place a Quilt of Valor on my state commander. So enough about that. Let's see. I think Rose, it's your turn, Rosie. Rosie.
So scholarship program, I'd like to see by a raise of hands for those who are on video. How many are new to the scholarship that don't know anything about it? Okay.
Brenda.
So I'm gonna do kind of like a high level. I'm not gonna get into nitty gritty detail, but if you have not already established a partnership with your VFW counterpart, please make this a priority to make sure you have a successful year. And if you are doing multiple levels, meaning at the auxiliary, the district level at the same time, it's vitally important to reach out to your counterpart.
Hear me?
Don't be afraid to ask for help, because you and your counterpart have many brothers and sisters that are there for you. They may have run the program before, or they may just have some out of the box ideas. Any ideas that you come up with, share them. We all need help. And I live by an old scouting Smith. Keep it simple, make it fun. And we definitely, I have found this program, you've got to make it fun. There is so many things to remember regarding the continuing education scholarship, the Young American Creative Patriot Art Contest, Voice of Democracy, and the Patriots Pen. Most important are the deadlines. Continuing education is already ongoing now and needs to be at national headquarters no later than February 15th, 2022. Young American Creative Patriotic Art needs to be at the local auxiliary by March. To the department level by April 15th, national by May 5th. And then your Voice of Democracy and Patriots Pen must be at the post level by October 31st. That is the first deadline. And the way to promote this, social media, your local schools. If you are able to attend your school board meetings, whether it's in person or Zoom or some other platform, do so. I know I submitted a request to our local school board to attend and was widely accepted, to the point where they're looking at, not for this year, but next year, as long as I promote hard enough, making it part of the curriculum.
Oh.
Church bulletin, local newspaper, radio, and college. Are there any questions before I move forward? So the last two things that I have are reporting. When you do report, please include a description. Some of our guide sheet requirements are definite yes or no, like you attended and registered for your meetings. However, there are other things like publicize all scholarships. That's not a yes or no answer. How did you publicize that? I would like to know, because that way, if you're not sharing that information, I can share it with people. How did you promote and assist the VFW? If you just say, yes, I promoted, that doesn't tell me anything. I want to hear what you're doing. I want to see how you're getting out there, whether it is in person or via a social media platform. Also, leaving that description blank makes it very difficult for me to complete the reports that I have to send on farther. Last thing under reporting, please be careful to avoid duplicate reporting. I have had to reach out to a couple of people because they reported the same thing, same month, identical 3 times. So please be careful, because I don't want anybody to be mad at me to say, why aren't you approving this when I've already approved one of the 3 or 4? And then the last piece is your resources, the VFW auxiliary website, the national website, and the VFW website itself. Yes, Diana.
Okay, my one question I have is, I know there, on one of the scholarships, there's something about that we have to have a release for the kids. Is that on all of the scholarships?
Yes. That is on the kids scholarship. I don't believe,
It's not on
It's on-
continuing education, but it's on Patriotic Art, VOD, and Patriots Pin, correct?
correct.
What about the new one, that red, white, and blue singing one?
I think
So I'm gonna say no to that one, Rose. And the reason I say that is because the school release forms are, so the kids are not punished because they have to be in school so many days, they can only miss so many days. The school release is saying, we're not going to punish these kids if they go to state convention or if they go to national because they're top winners. They're excused from school. And that's what that release is saying, is that those kids are not going to be penalized for missing school for this event.
Okay.
That's what the purpose of the school release.
And then something, just because Rose talked about it, is that those the duplicate reports, I don't think that's always intentional, because I've filed reports for my auxiliary and it goes in duplicate. I go in to print them off and there's two of them. So I've personally deleted the second one.
Okay, thank you for that note. I was not aware of that. Something else that became aware of me last year was another chairman from last year told us that if you submit multiple chair reports at the same time, only the first one receives the person's email address and the chair, the submitter. Nicole, I don't know if that was ever reported to you, but there's been a couple of times where I have found that the chairperson is listed, or excuse me, is listed once, but not listed on the other ones. But thankfully, I've been able to go back looking at the date, the auxiliary number, things like that. Has that been reported to you?
So part of that is if they are filling out the report and they go right along and they put the chairman's name in and they continue to report, say 5 more for membership, they're assuming that chairman, that they're automatically, they come together. Our members are not realizing that they still have to put chairman in every single time, every single line going across, because that's what's happening. They're just not filling it in because they're probably assuming that, well, I just did 5 for membership and I put it in as the first one. But when it gets kicked back to the chairman, it comes back as an individual report. It doesn't come saying there's 5 of them at one time. It comes back as one entry 5 different times. So that's something we need to put out to our own members, is that they still need to put in that information. And sometimes they just leave it blank because they don't care. And as chairmen, and officers, we're gonna discuss that issue on our next Zoom, because you're gonna find that some chairmen are just name only and not the ones that really do the work. And so I think it's more beneficial to write the citations out to the people, or to the auxiliary in general. But that's something we're going to talk about.
Okay, thank you for that. It helps when I reach out to help explain that it could be unintentional. So I appreciate that.
Yep. Kathy?
Both Nicole and Diana.
I just have a comment to make. I'm a legislative chair also. And I've always arranged to meet with the superintendents and the principals and the counselors in my area number of schools. And I found that every year, they always have new people who don't know anything about the VFW or the auxiliary. So I always, in the beginning of my little presentation, have a shtick that I do on the VFW and what we do. But it's a nice, I do a nice thing. Sandy, come on. But I also include my priority goals in brochure in with each, because I always leave them hard copies and then I give them electronic copies. But in the process, I kind of help both of my chairmanships, because I have found that a lot of times they don't know about the VFW. And over here, they get it confused with the American Legion. So I don't want to miss an opportunity to have them at some other point if they have to read that also. So just a side note, whether they want to think about getting with their legislative person and making sure whatever they drop off, they give some information on the VFW or whatever other program, then that way we can kind of cover each other and help each other out too.
That's excellent.
Yeah, that's a great partnership, Kathy.
Just to, Brenda sent all of us a message, but if you don't have texting, Brenda said, I did find out that brothers and sisters are allowed to hang Gold Star flags. So that's your answer for whoever needs to know that.
Thank you, Brenda.
Right.
Thank you, Patrick.
Anybody got any questions, scholarship questions for Rose?
Now for Rose, I have a question for Patrick.
Okay, Patrick, yay.
Patrick, give me a call later about pins.
Pins.
I need to know if your present auxiliary has pins.
I gave those to her, those 50.
You gave those to Ruth later,
Oh, I did.
right?
No,
gave-
he's not in Ruth Later's auxiliary.
Well,
Right.
I gave them to, Diana Rock. Can't even say her last.
What's her
That-
name told me she bought the 25 pins you took. She bought those from you.
Oh, I had bought extra from you, and I sold to, Carolyn Jenkins. I gave her 25.
701.
Yeah,
Yes. And so your post has got pins too then?
yes, and I also bought some for me, because when I'm out at the I'm at the VA hospital, like last week, I gave my doctor a Buddy Poppy and one of those pens.
Good, good
Dr.
for you.
He really liked it too. I mean,
Okay, can you please make sure that that gets reported?
oh, I didn't know how to do that.
Americanism.
Americanism.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Thank you. I should have known that.
There is a line item in Americanism,
Okay,
Brenda, right?
Yes, contribute to the sale of department program pins.
okay. I even have a photo of him getting Buddy Poppy with the Instagram pen, so. He was, yeah. And I also gave one to a 96-year-old man at the VA hospital that was getting by a doctor, that I almost got arrested. Because
Let's not get arrested, Patrick.
I ordered a patient advocate because he was being mistreated. So,
Okay. All right, no more questions? No more questions. A couple reminders.
Teacher of the year still stuff.
A teacher of the year is Americanism,
Brenda.
Brenda.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brenda. You got
No,
that
go
too?
ahead. I was just gonna say, I have a file that I've started that has all the brochures, the applications, the requirements. If the Americanism chairmans or your auxiliary president would email me, I will attach the file and share all that stuff I have with you.
okay,
The deadline is October 31st to get it to the auxiliary. And it is, the district, they have to receive it by November 16th, and the state is no later than December 16th.
Right.
Nicole has some stuff on the screen for me, on the requirements, and the has down on the bottom the contacts and who can submit it and everything. So it's got, but I've attached all this. If you want the whole file that has everything in it that you can print off and use, email me and I will send it to you.
Good job. Okay, anybody got anything else before I give you some reminders? All right, number one, National Home is this weekend, Sunday. Remember to bring all of your cleaning supplies that were on that list because we're going to beat Ohio by hook or by crook, but let's do it by hook, not by crook. Secondly, fall conference, the agenda is on the website now. It says tentative, but it is 99.9% finished. Unless there's some extenuating circumstance that somebody who's doing a training can't do it at the time, we want it to stand. This year I have heard over the last multiple years that I don't even know why I bothered to get a hotel room for Friday night because there's hardly anything happening on Saturday. This year we're going all the way till about 4:30.
5:30.
How much?
5:30.
So 5:30 on Saturday to give us our biggest bang for our buck. The VFW, for the first time ever, is doing joint training with us. That means that as our chairmen are training, so are the VFW chairmen. So wherever you see Americanism, for instance, Brenda and her counterpart on the VFW side will be doing the training together. We will be presenting our stuff, they will be presenting their stuff, and then questions will be answered. So please plan on staying well into Saturday afternoon. We all tried to get this so that it's more like it was back in the old days where you're not sitting on your butt in a meeting for 4 or 5 or 6 hours straight. Instead, you get to get up and move around and you get to actually have interaction with the chairman. I felt that the people sitting listening were not comfortable asking questions. And if you're in a smaller group of just people who are there about Americanism or about hospital or about historian, you're more likely to ask the questions that you have. So win, lose, or draw, Steph takes the heat, or I guess the team takes the praise. Patrick.
We're gonna have a meeting on the 28th in the late afternoon. You mentioned that earlier.
The 28th?
29th, I'm sorry, 29th.
29th of August?
September.
Are we, Nicole? Did I mention it?
It was supposed to be the 30th at 2 o'clock.
Okay, I think what he's referring to is
you're talking
the pre-C of A is going to take place that Tuesday
thank you.
beforehand.
Yes,
I'm a little slow. I may be present, but I'm a little slow. Yes, we are not going to have you come in on Thursday to sit in a C of A meeting and race to get there. We're having you come in on Thursday to do fun things, celebrate with Sandy her wonderful 6 years and her love for all of us. We're going to have activities that are group activities. We're going to do some game playing and training and different things like that. So instead of that, the pre-C of A meeting, because we just can't get away from a pre-C of A meeting, it wouldn't be Michigan if we had none whatsoever. We're going to do on Zoom, and I believe we decided Tuesday before fall conference. So whatever date is Tuesday before fall conference, that's the date of the pre-C of A meeting. And the C of A members will get a Zoom link and they'll get their paperwork emailed to them ahead of time. And that was your question, Patrick?
Yeah.
Did I answer? Okay.
I got a room for the 29th thinking that we would have to be there for that meeting. So I can call them back. But
yeah, call and cancel. You want to be there Thursday. If you don't golf, then we are trying to set up a casino trip, a boat cruise, or tunnel of trees tour. So that way, those that want to golf can golf, and those that travel with their spouses that don't golf, they can go do those other activities.
And a winery, right? And a
Yeah,
winery.
4 o'clock is when we're going to start.
Okay, the VFW, listen to me carefully, the VFW people are looking into these additional things. So when the VFW people give us the information, that's when you all will get it.
Okay.
They thought it up and they're looking it up. Who's got their hand up? Rose has her hand up. Rose?
Nicole, you mentioned to Patrick to cancel. I had also scheduled the 29th. However, it was my understanding that if you did not make any changes within, what was it, 2 weeks,
2 weeks
of the
prior
time
to.
that you scheduled,
No.
that you couldn't change.
No,
it.
It's 2 weeks
prior.
of the date of the event.
Okay, okay, so
2
we
weeks prior to the event. So we're saying you don't have to be up there Wednesday.
Correct.
okay,
We're asking you to be there Thursday. Tuesday, whatever date that is, will be the C of A pre-meeting.
At
The 28th.
28, thank you, Sandy. At what time did we decide? 7, right?
Roughly.
I
7
think
p.m.
Information will come in
Yeah.
an email to the C of A members.
we try to do 7 as much as possible so that people who work have an opportunity to get home and actually have a bite to eat. So that's that. Brenda's got her hand up. Brenda?
Do you have uniform requirements for the fall conference or will you later?
We will later.
You will get an email telling the council members how to dress for the council meeting and telling the chairman, but I'll give you in a nutshell. Chairman, please, if you have a green shirt, wear it. And if you don't have a green shirt and you have a shirt that relates to your chairmanship, Wendy, I told wear Camp Trotter's shirt because that relates to her chairmanship. Whoever is National Home, if they prefer to wear National Home t-shirt, that's fine. If you don't have either of those, then you know what? Don't go out and spend money. Just dress nice. And I'll be good. I'll be good with it,
You want
okay?
The green, right?
If you have green, heck yeah, you paid for it. You might as well wear it.
What color pants? Does it matter?
It does not matter to Stephanie what color pants as long as you wear some. Fair enough. Fair enough. For the training, you can wear black, you can wear gray, you can wear khaki.
Okay.
People who have white slacks or jeans and want to wear them, that's fine too. They're not looking at your legs and what you're wearing. Just dress nice. Any more questions? I talked about fall conference.
Stephanie,
National
why
Home.
don't you do the requirement for district meetings?
Oh, good idea. How many of you have been at a district meeting that I've been at already? A couple of you. Okay, so then you have the scoop. Wendy, I literally left my paperwork with because I left early. You have the scoop that tells you all of the things that passed at National Convention, among other things, passed a resolution that says every auxiliary must be represented at every district meeting. Now, that means president or a member, somebody signed in, checked in, marked off, present. Sandy Metis will be working with Sarah. Sarah's on here, isn't she? You hear me talking about her? To adjust the auxiliary achievement because now that this requirement has come in, there is no punishment as such on the in the bylaws. But it's up to every department to decide how they're going to deal with this, get this to happen. So in our case, any district meetings for August and September are exempt because the VFW has to have final approval and they won't meet for another week or 2. And after that, every auxiliary that does not have representation at the district meetings you won't be eligible for the auxiliary circle of excellence. Auxiliary achievement, okay?
Madam President,
Yes. Yes, Sandy?
I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry.
Okay.
I believe. Are you there?
Yeah.
We're here. You're breaking up, but go ahead.
Because I can't see you, but anyways, your council of administration meeting, there'll have to be a discussion as to whether the council wants there to be a punishment or if it's just an effect for the circle.
But there is none attached by National. So you heard Sandy, it will be up to Michigan to decide Michigan's punishment. All right. So get somebody there. That's the easy fix. Get somebody to go. That's what should be happening anyway. It's the teaching arm of our organization and somebody should be there bringing back to the auxiliary all the information that's handed out. I've been to 3 districts. 3 districts did amazing schools of instruction. Their chairman went above and beyond and did wonderful things. And at each of those districts, there were multiple auxiliaries absent. Those auxiliaries missed an incredible amount of great training. The whole point of the district is to aid in the education of the members. So get them to come, please, please. please. Let's see, what other things happened at National?
Citizenship.
Oh, this is a biggie. This is a biggie. Thank you. We will no longer have to be new members will no longer have to be an American citizen. They are joining under the eligibility of the veteran they're joining under, not under their own citizenship. The VFW passed a resolution on the VFW floor that all veterans who served with the United States, but were not American citizens, say they lived in Canada. They served with the United States and they served honorably during war. And other than the fact that they weren't American citizens, they would have been eligible to be members of the VFW. So the VFW has removed citizenship as a requirement. It came back to the VFW auxiliary floor after it had been tabled the day before. And with that added information, the auxiliary passed that we will no longer require citizenship as an eligibility requirement. Still have to have the right relationship to the veteran and they still have to be eligible for VFW, but citizenship is no longer a blocking point for people. There's a few others, but they're on the website, but those were a couple of big ones. If you have any questions after you read them, give me a buzz, or Nicole at the office, or Sandy, or whoever you want. Those are the major ones. Okay.
So a couple things from the treasurer's side. Please make sure your bond is paid. We have 33 auxiliaries not bonded in the state. They have to be bonded by the 31st. If you're not bonded by the 30th, I will bond you for you, and it will be for the minimum amount of money, and you will get a bill from department. So if you need to have more money than $10,000 to be bonded, I truly hope you get in there and bond your own auxiliary. Also, membership wise, we are almost met our first goal. We might be very close tomorrow after I do dues to have met the first goal of 186 new or rejoined members already. So pat yourself on the back, but also remember by December 31st, every officer in your auxiliary, guard, conductress, all those guys have to have their dues paid or they will be removed. Okay. And so make sure that is done. Also your 990, the website is having some issues. So if you do your own 990 and it's coming back that it didn't go through or whatever, wait another day and go back through. I have about 10 of them to process, but I keep getting an error. So on that website. So I will get them processed as soon as I can. But if you want me to do it, remember, just call me with your EIN number and I'll be more than happy to do your 990 if you're under 50,000. Only if you're under 50,000. If you're above $50,000, pay the money and hire somebody to do it. And not
Diana.
I just wanted to share something with everybody for a membership. I sent out as a new treasurer, I got to do dues reminders for the first time. And I did use the letter that National has on Malta, but in the return little box at the bottom, I included a little note to everybody and said, hey, by the way, if you pay this amount, that's how much it would cost you for a life membership. And I went by every member's birthday and got the specific amount for each person. And I've already actually had one person convert to life membership out of 7 that have already come in. So just a suggestion that if you're trying, doing that, it might spur somebody to get a life membership.
Anybody else?
Got 1 minute, Steph, to 8 o'clock.
Okay, 1 minute. No more questions. Then you all can just. Yes, who said stuff? Kathy?
I did, Kathy Kirby. I just have one really quick thing. I was offered a quilting machine, and I have no place for it. And it is one large enough to do king size quilts, but they would like to donate it to a PFW auxiliary or that does them, and there's lots of material too. So if anybody knows of anybody, if you'd let me know, I can get you the information.
Check with Judy Brown. She just got off, but she does all the Quilt of Ballards.
Right, I thought about Judy, but I don't know if she has her own quilting machine.
She has, to my knowledge, a couple old ones.
Okay.
Old ones. So
Might
she
be
might be interested in that.
She's the treasurer of 2356, I believe it is, up in
Yeah.
Hillman. So you can
Right.
find her in the roster, Kathy. Give her a buzz.
But check with Judy because there's a couple of them that work together as a team to do them.
Okay, that's great. All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Kathy?
Yes.
Right.
There's more Kathy.
Right, Rada.
Oh,
You have
wrong
to
tab.
turn off, Kathy, you have to unmute yourself or we're not going to hear a word you have to say.
There you go.
Okay, Sherry Adis does quilting too.
Okay. We'll find somebody, trust me, somebody will get off your
That's
hands.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody. I'll
Bye.
see you all soon.
Bye.
Stephanie.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Steph. Bye, Sandy.
Bye.
See you
Bye.
guys.
Call me, Steph.
Who said that?
Serena.
Okay, I will, Serena.
Okay.
Hello. Hi. Hey, let me call you back in just a minute, okay? Okay, bye.
There's Judy Brown back on.
I don't think
Yeah,
she's
but
on.
I think she just didn't sign off.
Yeah.
All right, good night.
Good
Bye,
night.
everybody.
Good night. Serena, is Serena still there or is she gone?
There we go.
She's there,
But
but
who's yes? I haven't figured out who.
I
this-
never did find out who is still on, who says yes by their name.
I have no idea. It just says yes.
Interesting.
Who's still on, whoever-
But Serena, if you're there and you can hear me, I just wanted to extend my deepest sympathies and condolences to you for the loss of your husband.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, ladies.
See you
Good
later.
night.
Bye. See you guys.
Good job, everybody. Good
Yeah.
job. It was a
Yeah,
good
and
training.
Good job today
It
on
was.
you, Diana, too, on your training. Good job.
Thank you.
See you
All
later.
right, bye.
Whoever yes was left.
Yeah, I see that.
Oh,
I don't know who it was. They never really did say.
no.
So,
Okay. Okay. It's just you and me.
okay, so, we'll have to, I was hoping Sandy was gonna stay on, but she must have had attended check.
Probably.
Did you see a lot of our people that were training today was on tonight?
Yes, that's
A
good.
lot of them,
Because there was chairmanships tonight.
yeah.
So they
But
may
to
have,
do- but to do all the training was
yeah.
all day and then get on tonight was. I
Oh,
was-
yes. I got home in time to eat and get on. That was the extent of me. But yeah, I saw that. I was happy about that. Okay,
So a couple of things that I have.
okay, go ahead.
Zoom, we really need to do a Zoom, I say beginning of next week with all our chairmen. One, to see how the first quarter went with everybody
Okay.
and what their, concerns are, how'd it go? And remind them that the importance of keeping up on their reports
Yes.
type thing.
So
But
send,
this is a big one that we need to.
send Sarah an email and tell her we need to set it up, find out what night works for her, since she's the chairman of chairman, and the rest of us will work around that.
Okay.
I 100% agree. And then Sarah can send all of her chairman the Zoom information after you get it set up, once you know
Okay.
when. Okay, so you work
Sounds good.
through Sarah on that.
Now, my other thing is, looking at the fall conferences, we don't have anything on the past president's luncheon, no form, no nothing. Does Judy Henson still do that? Does she send the form out? Do I make a form? How do? we-
You know what, call Bel Air and start with her and Judy Henson, because I don't know the answer.
Okay.
By the way, Deborah Gaines' sister died. That was my phone call that I got.
Oh.
Her sister died. So I also then need to know when it's time for audit, what day the audit will be. You do that, what, like a week before?
Or two. It'll be probably a second week in September.
Okay,
It
okay.
won't be until September.
Because we have National President's Visit coming in there.
Right. But I can't get the bank statements until at least the 5th or 7th of
Okay.
September. So
Okay,
that's
right.
the-
So the week after that, I'm up at the UP. And then it's National President's Visit. So, I mean, I know I don't have to be here, but I told Deborah I would let her
with
ride with me and I would just
We'll
take
figure it
care of
out.
working. So, if it has to be the third week, like the week after National Presidents, that's not a problem, right?
No,
Because they just come in and do it. Okay.
exactly. And then I had on my notes about the punishment not to be at district meetings, because my thought is if there's no consequences, they're not going to care if they show up or not.
Well, there is consequences as far as the auxiliary achievement. That is a consequence. You are not
But
eligible.
some don't care
for it.
about that.
Well, I 100% agree. And it's usually the same ones that aren't attending anyway.
Exactly.
So, but Sandy's point is well taken. If there is consequences, then the department has to decide that through the Council of
CFA.
Administration.
And I'm all for
So-
that. We could make it as easy as, same as the comrades, if they're not there 3 meetings or 2 meetings of the thing, then they can possibly get removed. Where possible, not automatic, you know what I mean? Because there's
Right.
circumstances, type thing.
But it's not like we have to have an officer there. They have to have an officer there. We don't have to have an officer. We
No,
have to
they
have
just
a
have to have
body.
somebody there, because
Oh,
there's
okay.
many times that my post, there's not an officer there. There's a body there
Yeah.
from my post.
Okay, well, then, all right, yeah, we'll have to talk about that as a council and.
Yeah. Or even just
maybe-
as officers first before we present it, because you want all of the officers on the same page.
That would be nice, wouldn't it, to be
Yeah,
on the
before
same
we-
page?
Present it to the C of A.
Yeah.
So that's where I stand with all my notes.
Okay, I wrote down all the names. Do you have your list?
I do. There's
Okay,
a couple
let's-
of them I wasn't sure. I mean, there's 35 of us at one point.
Yeah, I saw 35, the
Um,
number 35. I don't know who yes is, and whoever yes is never answered us, and we asked them multiple times. And
Exactly.
then there was a Judy, but I didn't have a last name.
I just wrote down Judy.
Okay,
And I wrote down
Christine.
702. I didn't catch that girl's name.
yeah, Christine,
Christine got on, but I don't
I
know
saw-
if it was LeBron or
I'm sure it was, because she always signs in that way, Christine's iPhone.
okay.
That's how Christine always comes in. And then Shepherd, I assume that was Heather Shepherd,
Oh,
because it said the Shepherds. So I'm sure that was Heather. Sarah was on, Deb Sheets was on, Kathy Oates,
yep. Kathy
Rose,
Kirby.
Rose
Eileen
Brown.
Blagna. Right?
I didn't see Eileen Dragna.
Somebody AILEEN came on.
Okay, that's Eileen Dragna. Okay, I didn't see her name. You, me, Ruthie Della, Patrick, Deanne Miller, Wendy, Sherry Adis, Sheila Picard, Sandy O, Diana Herrick, Scott Collins. I was happy to see so many district presidents on.
Yeah, there was a lot.
Diana Ward, Brenda, Linda Walthorn. I don't know where Linda's from. I know the name, but I don't know where she's from. Melody, Serena, Meredy. I saw her pop in. Bobby, Judy Brown, Kathy Kirby, Kathy Bryrada. I think that's it. That's the ones I
35 of
got.
us? You got 35?
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. I only have 33, so I missed somebody, but
So I got Della, Blanche, Sherry. There was
Yep, got
two
them.
Sherrys. There was
Oh, I
a
didn't,
SHERRIE one. And then there was a then there was Sherry Addis.
yeah, I didn't see the other, oh, I didn't see the other Sherry. I wonder who that was. Okay.
Patrick, Ruth Barnhill, Stephanie, Brenda, Judy, Scott, Sheila Pickard, Sandy O, Sarah Mankey, Deanne Miller, Deb Haynes, Kathy Oakes, Linda Wawthorne, Melody, Rosemary, Serena, 702, Linda Olson, Bobby Boltice.
Rosemary, I don't know who wrote, I didn't see Rosemary. Oh, Rosemary. I
Oh,
just
sorry,
call her-
Rosemary Singh.
Yeah, I just call her Rose.
Diana Hedrick, Hedrick
We had
Shepherd,
Diana Herrick and Diana Ward both.
and I had the word yes. I don't know who
Yeah, I
it
don't know
was.
that.
Kathy Oakes, Kathy Kirby, Wendy Hall, Aline Dragna, me, Meredith Lewis, Deb Sheets got on. Did you see that?
Yes, I did. I wrote her name
Okay.
down.
Judy and Christine. I had
Yeah.
35 at one time.
Okay, well, that's the number we'll go with. So at least we
Pretty good.
have
And
them.
then we had 27 this afternoon.
Yeah, that was
Or
nice
this
too.
morning.
That was
So-
excellent. So what happened? Did you ever hear what happened with the VFW and their Lansing call with the governor's aide or whatever?
No.
Nobody ever. Jan will be the one that'll fill you in.
Yeah, I went up and started doing mail and I got on and that. So you're missing, see, I have all the officers, but did you send me Deb Haynes on my phone?
Yes.
Okay, so I do
Yes.
have Deb Haynes. Have we heard from Bonnie Prey?
No, we have not.
Okay.
I have not.
She's the only one out of the 4 past and our officers that have not responded.
I sent you Sandy Metis. I sent
had hers.
you
Melody.
Serena,
I had Serena's.
Deb Haynes, and Melody. Those are the ones that I sent you.
So I have 4, 5. I don't have Patrick's yet. I
He
don't
knows
have
that.
7. I have 8, 9. I don't have 10. I have 11. And I don't have 12. I have 13,
12 is
14, and
Diana's.
I don't have 15. So is that
She
considered?
wasn't on.
We have over the,
Do you have 50% plus?
yeah,
Okay, then we have enough. I did tell him by the end of the week, so we know that it's a yes. We just have to let the rest of them have the time that I gave them.
okay,
All right.
okay. So
Alrighty.
once Friday comes, now, since Sandy's not in the office, do you want a grand total of this is so many yeses, this is so many
Yes.
sustained, sent back
Yes.
out to them?
Yes,
Okay. that's
yes,
good. Okay,
exactly.
so I know.
Somebody
what
just
to
sent me a
expect.
message. Diana said, I think it
Diana.
went very well. Yeah. Well, it did go very well. Yeah. So once Friday night is done, Saturday, you can do it or whenever you do it. Just say thank you to those who were able to respond. We have reached a majority, more than enough to have a majority, and the vote was yes. And send it from Sandy O's email, please.
Am I signing it as Sandy?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes. And tell her you're doing that.
okay. Just so I know.
And you're picking up Brenda, and I'm getting
Yes.
there as quickly as I can after work. I'm gonna try and skedaddle out at 12:30, 1:30. I should be there by 2. That's my goal, to be there by 2.
Okay. When's Ohio people coming in? Do you have any idea?
I don't know what time, but
Okay.
Sandy said her hotel information, she changed it to my name and to Jane's name, because both of the rooms were in her name, and so she changed it.
Okay.
For both
I
of
did
them.
talk to her about that and she said that it was in her name, so I did find that out.
Okay.
Brenda sent me her flight stuff, so I know all that. I have that information from BTS,
Okay.
so we're good there.
I'm
Any-
bringing the green shirts for the girls, for
Okay.
all of them.
And I think Sandy was supposed to get them Camp Trotter shirts.
Yes, she was supposed to get from Kevin or from somebody shirts to swap, because the ones that she got for them,
Way
some
too
of them
small.
were wrong. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll check with Jan, because Jan was trying to
Okay.
keep their shirts and stuff, so
Yeah.
I'll check with her tomorrow. I'm gonna go in and just work a half a day tomorrow.
Okay.
just so I can catch up on dues and everything. Cause I think
Right.
after the mail and stuff, I'm pretty sure we will be very close to meeting that first goal already.
For both parts? Or
At
just the
least
one
the
part?
new and rejoins.
Okay. Where, and then the other one is? who knows?
The one is 50%, so we would have to have over 1,000 dues, but that's by October
End of
30th.
October. Yeah, end of October, right.
So we could easily make that. It's just a matter of,
Yeah,
and then next week, I'll start calling on the bonds personally
okay,
for the treasurers.
okay.
and Try to walk.
I
them-
know Diana Harrican 12 told me there were 5 of them on my list, and she said to me, I'm down to 4, so one of them had gotten done, and the girls were going to handle it, and I saw they were down to 2, so
Okay.
obviously they were taking care of business in 12.
And I know Debbie Sheets was working on their district.
5, okay.
Yep. So, which is fine, great. If they can handle their own districts, fine, but next
That-
week
yeah.
is the time I need to start
Make a phone
calling
call. Yeah,
and friendly
exactly.
reminders to
Yes.
get that stuff in.
Yes, because don't they have to be placed on suspension if they're not bonded? But you're gonna make sure they are bonded.
No
by
matter
hook or
what,
by
I'll make
crook.
sure they're bonded.
Okay,
Or
okay,
if not, we do have to put them on suspension, and I'd hate to do that.
right.
When
Yeah.
all they have to do is go into Malta and make a couple buttons and they're done.
I know, I know, I
You
don't
know,
understand.
so, but the ones that most of them that are missing the bonds are also missing the audit and the 990.
Yeah,
So
well,
I-
990, I know, a
Uh,
lot of people, their comments to me today was, well, we do have till November 15th. And I said to them, that doesn't mean you're supposed to wait till November 15th,
right.
So unfortunately, that's kind of sort of the,
But it's a friendly
Attitude.
reminder when, if
Right.
I have to call them about the bond, I may as
Yeah.
well remind them, hey, don't forget to get your 990 in. If you want me to do it, that's not a problem type thing. I don't have a problem
Right.
doing it, but just get it in. So,
somebody's calling me. Who's calling me? Serena. All
Okay,
right.
we'll
I'm
talk
gonna go.
later.
Okay,
okay,
bye-bye.
bye.
Hello, Serena. What's up?